I've been in the music business since I was about 4. Classically trained, went on to write my own music, produce my own music, collaborate, independent, signed, independent again, the whole gambit. And there's 9 things that I really wish that I knew when I was starting my career. That Orko also has been in the music business for a long time. He's been in rock bands, he's toured, he's played with all the big rock bands, of the world and done his thing. So he's also going to give his perspective on what we're going to share with you. So if you're excited, smash that like button and let's get going.
Let's go.
Number 1, understanding the music business. I cannot stress this enough. And this is even if you're like later in your career and you're not just starting, wherever you are, not having an understanding of the music business will screw you up so much because you will get off track and you'll end up spending a lot of time doing stuff that isn't meaningful, doesn't matter, and might even actually
Mm,
hurt your music career. And so understanding the music business as far as like contracts,
mm.
royalties, where do you register your music to get paid? How do you protect your intellectual property, like your copyrights, like your trademarks? If
Yes.
you if you, most people will know just a little bit and they never get all the pieces put together until way later in their career. And so this is the biggest thing and that's why it's number 1 for me. What do you think?
Or they learn it and they never implement it. They know the stuff, but that they don't actually take action. Like the contract thing is the big one. You should be having, if you're in a band, you should be having, the contract of just how it's going to work within your band and with the different members, and the writings and different things like that. When you get that all set up, you need to have just your different collaboration agreements. But another easy one is, when you're playing live shows, you should have contracts with the, promoters and stuff to make sure that you're getting paid. I can't tell you how many times in my past I'd played shows and stuff, and I was supposed to get paid X amount, and then at the end of the night the promoter did not pay up and I did not receive money or received less than. But I'll tell you, once I started implementing contracts, I got every penny that I there was
Yeah.
no fumfering about. Maybe some of the other bands didn't get paid all they got paid, but I got paid all I needed to get paid because I had that contract, and
Yeah.
there's no messing around.
And also understanding the music business, right, gives you that confidence that usually is missing. And that's the thing that gets you to be taken advantage of because people will kind of smell your insecurity.
For sure.
So having an understanding of industry standard when you're negotiating and some manager is like, I'm gonna get 50% of your music or or your earnings or whatever.
Right.
And you're like, well, a manager's percentage is 15 to 20% at most. So no, that's not industry standard and forget it. Need contracts for your music business? Go to topmusicattorney.com to get downloadable templates such as NDAs, record label agreements, management agreements, featured artist agreements, and so much more. Go to topmusicattorney.com. So number 1, understand the music business. Number 2, learn to sell. Okay. Oh
Mm.
my gosh. So, my philosophy and the philosophy of this channel is learn to think like a label, which is really what we just talked about. Understanding the music business is how you learn to think like a label because labels are like we're in the music business, we know how it works and we know how to make money. Once we know how to make money, then number 2 is we then look at how to sell. And a lot of that usually happens with just audience harvesting.
Sure.
So, when we talk about learning how to sell, it's first of all, it's usually your music. If you're a producer, if you're a singer, if you're a songwriter, you have to get people to go and actually stream your music, buy your music. But there are other things that you should be selling related to your music and your services.
Yeah.
Like if you are a top line singer, I can hire you and pay you $500 for 2 hours of work to have you come up with some lyrics and sing the top line of my beat because I'm an EDM producer. I'm a music producer. I'm going to put together sample packs and then I'm going to put them on third party websites and have them just making money passively for me. Again, learning how to sell. What do you think?
Right. That is a huge one that we don't know. As artists coming up, you just think I just need to sell some t-shirts, merch. And so maybe I'll put them on my website. I get paid at shows. I'm really upset and angry that I'm not getting as much as I should be from streaming. That's kind of like the old mentality. We just recently released a video, 35 ways to make money with your music. Make sure that you look on the channel. I'll put a link in the description, which also includes a PDF that goes along with it. But we literally break down 35 ways that you could be making money with your music and with your craft, like starting today. Like, you can
Yeah.
implement these things right away. And that's just the thing. It's just we all just kind of feel like we're in this box of what we can actually be doing to earning money and have a sustainable career. Once I learned that, I got to quit my pool job, and then I've just been making money from music and from what I know how to make money as a content creator and just different things like that. So it's check that video out. It's a huge resource, absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and finding resources, especially with like learning the music business side. I mean, that's all what this channel is dedicated to. Subscribe right now and you'll get videos, every single week. But learn the music business, learn how to sell, and then number 3, invest in ongoing learning. So it's not
Yes.
just, getting free content on YouTube channels, that's all great, but actually deep dive and give yourself the opportunity to close the knowledge gap. And that's kind of how I say it to like my clients and my students. I'm like, you have to close the knowledge gap as quickly as possible, because I didn't.
Right.
I spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on my music career, doing all the wrong things for so long. And had I just known the information that would have made me money, I wouldn't have wasted time and I wouldn't have wasted money, and I would have started to just do the right things. Because if you're like a hustler and you have the movement and you have, I don't know, the energy towards your career, it also doesn't count if you're doing all the wrong things.
And your time is more valuable than money, because think about like if you took the time to learn the things you want to do, you will save money in having to hire people, and you still don't know how to do the thing. So when they quit their job, when they find something else, and then you no longer have a social media manager, or you no longer have a booker or just something like that, you know how to do the jobs that they can all do, and you don't need them. So you train, and you just get your time back, and you're creating, and you're making the art, and you're thinking of new marketing strategies and new ways that you can earn income. So yeah, no,
Well, and it
absolutely.
also it also kind of goes into like learning how to sell stuff. So in your investing in ongoing learning, that includes your craft. If you're a producer, if you're a singer, if you are a cellist, anything that you do as your actual skill set, you can sell that skill set. You can sell
True.
the work product. So investing in your ongoing education, you have to
Online
set aside
courses are
money to
great.
do it. 100%.
Like,
Number 4.
I'm just gonna say, just no, just for personal experience, just me I've taken online courses, that I've invested in, that have been quite expensive, but I felt but that what I learned from them, has absolutely gotten my money back from them. And I just feel that we should always be trying to educate ourselves and not being afraid of taking those leaps into those things, because you grow substantially when you get concentrated information and you apply it.
Number 4 of the things I wish I knew when starting my career was that I needed to create insane consistency. And I use that word
Mm,
insane because that's really the level that I operated at when I started doing this for real for like a couple of years in a row, because I went from no following, and then I tried to post and I tried to do social media and I tried to do marketing, but it was very inconsistent. And of course, that resulted in no followers, no
yeah.
engagement, and it just sucked. And then when I got super consistent, even for the time that I still wasn't getting the engagement, my consistency caught up. And so after, let's say like a year and a half, 2 years of just super, super being consistent, all of a sudden I had some videos go viral. Okay. And then my social media just ballooned. And then, now I have like 500,000 followers on my different platforms. And so that consistency with everything that you do, from your social media to making your music, as long as you continue to show up, that's all you have to do. You don't have to judge what you're doing. You have to be like, my last post sucked. My last song sucked. Your job is to get your ass with a schedule
Yeah, for sure.
into the studio, go to the gym to work on your physical health and your energy, make money, figure out ways to bring in ancillary income.
Yeah, consistency is everything. And we have student groups that we talk to, and we had one today, and somebody who had a question about just marketing and putting money into ads and stuff like that. And without consistency across your social media of trying things, of finding your audience, of constantly having them engage, when it goes to time of when you're trying to find your audience, when you're going to market to and direct ads to, you need to have a baseline of what of having a following of people that are engaged with your different content, so you can know which audiences to send them out to, so you're not just wasting money on ads and stuff. So for no other reasons than just helping getting your analytics up, and making sure you need to always be consistently posting, always be keeping track of these things, finding the things that are working for you. But keeping up the energy is huge, and that is something that you can It's this is not a race. Like, you're not just trying to hurry up and I just gotta do well on this one release. Who cares about your next release? I mean, it's about your long-term career. It's about having a series of great releases, and that comes with your consistency.
Number 5 on things I wish I knew when starting my music career was not just about consistency, but adaptability. So I say that you need to fail fast. And one of the problems that we run into as creators is that we'll try something, it fails, and then we don't do anything again.
Yeah.
Right? So we try a Facebook ad, it doesn't do well. We're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm out $100, I'm out $20." And so we never do Facebook ads again because we think it's a waste of money. So when you adapt to something, learn. If something didn't do well, there was a lesson to be learned. It's not about your feelings, right?
Right.
If you get out of your feelings, again, we go back to you think like a record label by getting out of your own way. So fail fast and get really good at it. And for me, by not judging something so harshly and just it was something just happened. Okay, we get data from that.
Right.
We get feedback from that. So, for example, if the
Absolutely.
song flopped, the marketplace that you released that song to didn't receive the song very well. It doesn't mean the song sucked. It just means that it wasn't received very well. That's okay.
Or it wasn't even that it wasn't received well. You didn't have the right analytics that you were using, and you just kind of generically tried to promote it. You didn't use the right tactics. You didn't try new things. Um, but failing fast, I love that. That's huge. And that's something that I was so scared to do before. I was scared of any kind of failures. And now it still kind of will bum you out when you have them, but it's such a great opportunity to learn from and just do better on the next one. And every time that we have failed, we have come back with, a better idea and a more a more working system in place. And that was something that I definitely took a look at the end of 2023 of what worked, what did not work, what was successful, what failed in 2023. And I've already made a huge amount of adjustments that have already seen the results in just the last like 30 days. Just taking that data. So fail fast, absolutely.
If you're a hustler like me working on your career every day, go to topmusicattorney.com to apply to work directly with me. Let's get your music business to 6 figures and beyond. The 6th thing that I wish I knew when I was starting my music career was the importance of networking, but let me clarify, of being able to give something of value to someone else. It's not like, oh, I need you to go to like some networking event and make friends. That's cool if you're doing that. There's stuff going on in your area. I love it. But what I'm talking about is meeting someone who might be able to help you at some point, or they're a music producer, or they're a singer, or they're a record label executive. And instead of being like, hey, let's be friends, I'll take your time and take you to coffee or something like that, being like, hey, I'm a video editor. I would love to help you out with some stuff. No charge. Let me just do like 1 or 2 things for you. We'll see if it's a good fit. So you give someone something of value to make friends, and or you just let them know kind of about what you're doing and make suggestions to improve their stuff. And all of a sudden, you have a reciprocal relationship where they're excited to hear from you because you know what? You just gave them something.
Yeah.
You didn't ask because everyone asks and it's a big turnoff. Okay. So network, but we're networking in a whole different way.
Absolutely. And that's honestly how I've made a lot of my, good friends and connections and, networking over the last couple of years was just giving value first. And, I'll add one thing to what you were saying as far as, tell them, hey, I would like to do this for you. So in my instance, I would just do it. I would just do something for them and send it to them and then, explain it to them, not so much
Right.
even asking them because they're like, oh no, like it's too much conversation. Already take the initiative, show them that you're serious. Don't make it look like a sales pitch. Like, oh, I can help you out with this. Like, bro, do you know how many messages I get if I can help you out with this? And it's just some, marketing thing. So, but if somebody goes, hey, I made this short video from some of your stuff, I thought it'd be really cool. It'd be a cool piece of content. I'm not trying to charge you for it, but I would like to work with you in the future. I think you're super cool. Whatever, something like that is really good. And I've made a lot of good friends just by giving, rather than, asking for something superficial. Go stream my song, bro. Like nobody cares.
The 7th thing that I wish that I knew when I was starting my music career was how to balance my passion with realism. So, when you're so passionate and up in your feelings about your music and your music videos, and I'm so guilty of this, man. I've spent way too much money on stupid stuff. I'm like, oh, we have to do the music video this way because it's my
Yeah.
vision and all this stuff. That's where you get very hung up, right? In being an artist. But balancing it with just realism of being like, okay, if I am going to go spend this $7,000 on a music video, which quite frankly is a waste of money if you're spending music video budgets, on stuff. But anyway, the realism of I need to make money Going back to, I'm thinking
Right.
like a record label, and I'm finding ways to make money from my career and monetize. So for example, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take time to put together this course teaching this thing that I know how to do. I'm a singer. I can show you how to do all the things that I have spent the last 15 years of my life learning. And then I'm going to package it. And I'm going to sell it for like 150 bucks. And then I'm going to sell like 50 units of it. And then so I'm going to make my $10,000 to pay for the thing. If I'm going to blow the money, that's one thing.
Right.
But to actually just balance like the realism of being like, if I put out this music video, it's probably not going to break even. It's not going to make me money. And even if people go and stream the song, which they might, we're talking about cents
Right.
on each stream. So stop thinking like some magical thing is going to happen with platforms that aren't paying you, and come up with ways to really make money, because you can, right? And so I'm challenging you, and in the same way I've challenged myself, and I in fact figured out ways to make money.
For sure. And, and another big, place where you're losing money on, you're talking about music videos, is the fact that you're spending this $7,000 for songs that you haven't even tested, that haven't already gone viral. So like, you're just going, I wrote this song, I think it's really cool, and I'm just going to release it. And, here's my, $5,000, $10,000 music video that I, had shot for it. But you haven't released any snippets. You don't know if the audience even is going to be feeling the song. Now, if you had a song that you were doing little TikTok dances with your phone or shooting content with your phone, and that started just going up and the numbers started going viral on it, well, then yeah, maybe it might be worth it to make a more packaged music video, because you've already tested it. Too much stuff is being wasted. Too much material is being wasted, or money's being wasted on it without it being tested. So you need to be testing your stuff more. But absolutely, I agree with you as far as it needs to make sense. It always needs to make sense financially. Where's the return going? And sometimes we got to blow money. Sometimes we do got to take steps, and there's opportunities that you feel like you can't pass, and you want to have a great experience and stuff. But remember, this is a business, and you need to see some return. So make sure that you have other plans of making money to make up for that $7,000 you just blew on a video that got maybe 400 views on.
You guys are going to love these last two. Before I get to them, make sure that you, of course, subscribe. If you need help with your music career, just go to topmusicattorney.com. You can apply to work with me. Tell me a little bit about what you got going on. I also have contract templates and other things to help keep you legally protected. The eighth thing that I wish I knew when starting my music career was how to take rejection. And again, not just taking rejection, right? And not having it crush my hopes and dreams, because that happens. And the sucky part is that it happens not just from strangers online, but it happens from the people in your actual inner circle. And sometimes it's your creative inner circle. And it's someone being like, your song sucks. I don't think it's very good. And you were so excited about it, and they just crush your dreams.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck? That's extremely difficult. And you obviously need to make decisions on who you keep around, who's kind of like that. But what you can do to kind of switch this up is to think about, what is the truth in what they're saying? What is a nugget of truth of something that I am not hearing in their criticism? And so I kind of take this even for myself, and it's helped quite a bit when it comes to even kind of, my interpretation of my music. And it doesn't mean I change what I do, but sometimes it's helpful depending on who it's coming from. If it's someone that I
Right.
respect,
Right.
and they're giving me some insight to something I didn't hear, something I didn't see, I go, even though that hurts my feelings, right? Even though that kind of hurts my feelings, I'm setting aside my ego for a second. What's true
Right.
about what they're saying?
And that's something that is hard to take when any kind of rejection, any kind of where it's feels like it's maybe trolling or maybe anything like that. And you have to consider the source, and you have to consider what type of criticism that you're receiving. Is your criticism on your song sucks, or is your criticism your mix sounds terrible? Those are two very different types of criticism. They both sound kind of harsh, but one, you can maybe go, I don't know, let me listen to my song again. Could that have been mixed more? Did I just do it myself, or did I send it off? Like there will be truths, and the ones that kind of stick with you are the ones that you're kind of like, I kind of already know. But just to piggyback onto that, to add to it, is rejection from your friends and family. You were talking about your inner circle, and that would be something that I really had to learn, was to let go of the feeling or the opinions of my friends and family, who may have their own agenda. Like, they're not your audience. Your friends and family aren't your audience. So just taking that aspect out of what I do, as far as just not worrying about their opinions and worrying about my audience that's there for me. If you had a bunch of things going, I don't like your music. Did you just market to the wrong people? Have you been presenting everything one way and you didn't know how to market to this new group? There's an audience for your genre. They don't know you personally, so it's not necessarily anything personal. So You just got to find your audience.
Music Attorney is your #1 legal resource for artists, producers, and record labels. Get contract templates, one-on-one legal advice, free master classes, and everything you need for your music business. Go to topmusicattorney.com. And the 9th thing that I wish I knew when starting my music career was how to really not only cultivate my identity, but dare to be different. You know, when I first started, I originally did dark pop music, and it's how I just, all by myself when I was writing and producing and doing my thing, I was writing dark pop music. It's what I liked. And over the course of time of working with different producers and just being a little newer in the game, I kind of started to steer more mainstream pop, and then I tried EDM, and then I got into more R&B stuff for 2 seconds, like just trying a lot of different things just because of the influence of the producers I was working with. And there's nothing wrong with
No,
that, but it just
I
meant,
think that's great. I think it's great to help you expand your horizons in what you do and just bring
yeah,
something new into
and
your new
just to
stuff.
kind of experiment, and that's all good. But for me, I knew what I wanted to do. I've always known what I wanted to do,
Mhm.
and I just had to kind of fight back, to be honest, in creative relationships, to be like, no, this is what I want to do, and I deserve to have the career I want to have. I deserve to have the songs I want to have,
Absolutely.
especially when I became my own label and I was the one paying for everything. And so dare to be 100% what you want to be, and even if that means you're different, right? Like different is like a commodity these days. It's the thing that actually makes people want to listen to you
Yeah.
and want to follow you, but it's scary. It really is scary to embrace that. And I've done that at least for myself in every aspect, from being a lawyer to being an artist to doing all the things. That's my story. No one has to be like me. No one should be like me. I'm okay. So, like I was saying, just kind of cultivate your own unique identity.
And it feels great when you're doing things and you're comfortable in your own skin when you're doing it because it feels genuine. And you know we teach you a lot on this channel how to think like a record label, and basically how you're building a record label around what you're doing, or whatever. Like, when you get signed, you're going to have a lot less control and freedom, and then that's when you will be kind of put more into a box, because they're going to take you seriously as a business and try to earn every penny from you. So while you're able to, experiment and find your unique voice, think about who your favorite artists are. Right now, they probably have something incredibly unique about them, and then there's probably 100 copycats that are just trying to do what they're doing, and it's not as good. So, just finding your own lane, staying true to what yourself, and Miss Krystle, you say this all the time about how you want to enjoy the experience. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Of course we want to make money. Of course we want to, but this is your life. This is your reality. The moments that you're in the studio, the moments that you're sitting there in front of your keyboards or whatever it is that you write with. Like, those are the things that you're going to remember and what's really important. So staying true to yourself, and doing something that you're proud of and creative with.
And if you are starting your own music career, congratulations on this
Yeah.
journey. If you are still in the middle of your career and onwards, man, don't give up. That's my last word. Don't give up. Keep crushing it. You're just, quite frankly, a lot of you are closer than you think to
Yeah.
breaking through, to having that hit. And you've just been working on your
A
skills and getting
lot.
them better and having better relationships with your fans. So keep hustling. This is your year, and we'll see you guys on the next video.